Howdy, folks. This is PC Cowboy coming at you again. Hey, I've been hearing a lot of stuff here lately about something that they're calling toxic masculinity. What is toxic masculinity, you may ask? Well, yeah, everybody talking about it, but don't seem like anybody really can give you a good answer as to what it is. So I'm going to tell you. Toxic masculinity is just a way to sell products. What do I mean? Well, you see, okay, if I had a glass in front of me, and that glass was full of liquid, let's just say I had a glass of water, okay? And this glass of water is plumb full of water all the way up to the top. Well, now you can't get no more water into it until you pour some water out. So you got these guys talking about this toxic masculinity stuff. Well, that's all fine, great, and dandy. But they don't seem to be able to tell you exactly what toxic masculinity is. I'm going to tell you right now how toxic masculinity came into being. I'm going to tell you who's responsible for toxic masculinity. And some of y'all ain't going to like my answers. You see, toxic masculinity came along just about the same time as anemic femininity. That's right, ladies, when y'all stop being women, men stop being real men and created this counterfeit that y'all calling toxic masculinity. Now, recently, the Gillette razor company has jumped on this bandwagon using their retired old slogan, Gillette, the best a man can get. Well, Gillette, I got news for y'all. Y'all ain't the best a man can get. You see, Gillette razors were invented by a guy by the name of Gillette. And during the 60s, when basically sex was the selling tool, he tried to make it look sexy for a fella to shave with one of his razors. Then, along about turn of the century, the 21st century, not 20th. You know, I mean, some of y'all know I'm kind of a real 80s kind of guy. 1880s, that is. And I don't go in for this newfangled stuff. Well, now, Gillette razors, they ain't really razors anyway. They're razor blades is what they make. And, well, I reckon that's okay if you want that kind of thing. But to me, get a far better shave while using a straight razor. Now, as y'all can tell, I ain't one of them type that doesn't follow through with what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go back and reshave after this commercial or after this show because You can't talk and shave at the same time. It just don't work. But anyway, folks, here's the thing. Toxic masculinity. If you got a glass, it's half full. It's got both water and air in equal portions. But if you put more water in, then it holds less air. Put more air in, then it doesn't have as much room for water. And here's what I'm saying, folks. Women need to look at what a real woman is. Where can they look at what a real woman is? Well, I suggest the Bible. Proverbs 31 pretty well tells it. A real woman, yeah, she's industrious. But she's also feminine. And a woman who's both feminine and industrious, that's a real woman. Now, a while back, the government started raising the prices on it. Well, it wasn't the government, it was the Fed, Federal Reserve. When they raise the interest rates, it raises the price of everything. Now, why would they do that, you ask? I'll tell you why. They did it in order to force people to have a two-income household. And nowadays, they've got it to the point even a two-income household isn't good enough. Why would they want to have that? I'll tell you. They wanted that so that then you got a choice. Either A, you don't have kids, or B, you have kids and let the state raise them. Well, folks like Nancy Pelosi are proof that the state can't even raise its own politicians. So how in the Sam Hill are they going to raise kids? Think about that for a minute. And while you're thinking about that, let me ask you this. If you think it's unmanly for a man to open the door for a lady, that's just showing respect. That's something this Cowboy was big on, is you respect the ladies. And these guys that walk around hitting on women, that ain't masculinity. What that is, well, I can't exactly say what that is because I don't use that kind of language. But I will tell you this. It ain't manly. It ain't even decent. It's acting like a darn animal. A guy hits a girl in my presence, well, he's going to find out real quick that he could be on Sesame Street. Now, what do I mean by on Sesame Street? Well, they got this critter on Sesame Street called the Count. And what he does is he counts things. And if I catch a guy hitting on a woman, he's going to be counting his teeth as he picks them up off the floor. Now, is that toxic masculinity? I'm threatening to knock some guy's teeth out? No, sir. It's just stating the facts. If he's going to act like an animal, he's going to pay the price like an animal. Now, some of y'all know enough about my background to know that I'm a cowboy. And a lot of you know that, well, I kind of do things the cowboy way. And I kind of live by the code. Or try to. Now, sometimes I fail. I'm also a Christian. Sometimes I fail at that too. But that does lead me into my next point. You see, some folks think that masculinity means you don't ever cry. Bull hockey. I'm going to give you an example here. Shortest verse in the Bible is John chapter 11, verse 35. And for those of you who are wanting to try to learn the Bible, I'm going to give you a real simple one to start with. Start by memorizing John 11:35. It's got two whole words in it. You know what them words are? Jesus wept. Well, let me tell you something, folks. Jesus is more of a man than most of us will ever be. He willingly laid his life down, not only for people he didn't know, but people who absolutely hated him. Now, we got men in the military today and police officers who are out there on the front lines. And a lot of them wind up laying their life down for people they don't know. And in the case of police officers, sometimes they lay their life down for people that don't really care about them. But I'll tell you something. No one, by their death, has ever changed the world like Jesus. How's the best way to avoid toxic masculinity? Well, I told you women need to read Proverbs chapter 31. Men, you got an even simpler target. A while back there was a slogan that came out, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Put that slogan on the back shelf, boys. Got a new one for you. DWJD, do what Jesus did. If you're in a situation, ask yourself, what does the Bible say I should do? Now, I know some of you have this idea that Jesus wasn't very manly because he was effeminate. Well, let me tell you something, boys. Jesus was not effeminate. He was a carpenter. He worked with his hands, which means he obviously had muscles. He just knew how to control his muscles and his use of them. And some of you are going to remember that Jesus, a lot of people talk about that he was a man of peace. Well, he was. But he also said, I did not come to bring peace into the world, but a sword. What did he mean by that? A man knows that there's a couple things in life that's important. Number one is having convictions. And number two is standing for those convictions, even if it costs you your life. Now, when I start talking about costing your life, that makes a lot of people nervous, but I'll tell you something. Jesus died for you. You need to live for him. That, my friend, is the mark of a true man. If you live your life according to the Word of God, I guarantee you won't regret it. Now, I'm going to wrap this thing up because I won't finish up my shave. And like I said, I can't shave and talk at the same time. So anyway, y'all have a blessed day, and hey, I'll tell you what, I promise you I'll be back a little later because I got a few more things to say. In the meantime, may your horse never stumble. May your cinch never break. May your belly never grumble. And may your heart never ache. This is the PC Cowboy. That's the Patriotic Christian Cowboy. Signing off.